for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpiece. Styling, wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty. I'm too hot, hot in. Call the police and a fireman. I'm too hot, hot in. Like a dragon wanna be time, man. I'm too hot, hot in. Say my name, know who I am. Too hot, hot in. And my bad mouth, that much great sound. Girls hit you hallelujah. Girls hit you hallelujah. Girls hit you hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk gon' give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk gon' give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk gon' give it to you. Saturday night, we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Hey! And don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 yeah! Stop. Wait a minute. Fill my cup, put some liquor in it. Take a sip, it's time to chill. Pull it out, get stretched. Right to Harlem, Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. If we show up, we gonna show out. Smooth bit of fresh out skippy. I'm too hot, hot there. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot, hot there. Dragon water, it's Iron Man. I'm too hot, hot there. They say my name, you know who I am. Too hot, hot there. And my bad mouth, that much great sound. Girls hit you hallelujah. Girls hit you hallelujah. Girls hit you hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk gon' give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk gon' give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk gon' give it to you. Saturday night, we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. And don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 yeah! Uptown funk you up. Uptown funk you up. I said uptown funk you up. Uptown funk you up. Sing it, dance, jump on it. If you sexy, then phone it. If you freaky, then own it. Don't brag about it, come show me. Come on, dance, jump on it. If you're sexy, then phone it. When it's Saturday night, we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. And don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 yeah! Uptown funk you up. 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 Uptown funk you up.
When Mama said that it was okay, Mama said that it was quite alright. I counted people out of bed for the night, and it was okay. Mama told us we were good kids, and Daddy told us never listen to the ones pointing nasty fingers and making fun, cause we were good kids. Remember asking both my mom and dad why we never traveled to exotic lands. We only ever really visit friends, nothing to sell when the summer ends. We never really went buying clothes, folks were passing on the stuff in plenty loads. New shoes once a year and then out to play ball so we could ruin them. When Mama said that it was okay, Mama said that it was quite alright. I counted people out of bed for the night, and it was okay. Mama told us we were good kids, and Daddy told us never listen to the ones pointing nasty fingers and making fun, cause we were good kids. Don't get me wrong, I didn't have it bad. I got enough loving from my mom and dad, but I don't think they really understood when I said that I wanted to deal in Hollywood. I told them I'd see it on TV. The other kids are calling me a wannabe. The older kids have started bugging me, but now they're all standing right in front of me. Yeah, when Mama said that it was okay, Mama said that it was quite alright. I counted people out of bed for the night, and it was okay. Mama told us we were good kids, and Daddy told us never listen to the ones pointing nasty fingers and making fun, cause we were good kids. I know which place I'm from, I know my home. When I'm in doubt and struggling, that's where I'll go. No friend can give advice, but new friends only know the half story. That's why I always keep them tight and why I'm okay. said that it was okay. Are you insane like me? Been in pain like me? Bought $100 bottle of champagne like me? Just to pour that motherfucker down the drain like me? Would you use your water bill to try to steal money when
And hello, everybody, and welcome to the Citrus Quest. Oh, there's the transition. God damn it, my camera's not centered correctly. Hang on. Let me fix that. Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be talking about a few different things, but first and foremost, we're going to be talking about one of the issues that I've been seeing seriously start to impact not just smaller content creators, but a specific group of content creators. So I was watching Philip Defranco's video about the new YouTube policy, where you require to have at least 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers within the past 12 months, which not necessarily particularly super difficult thing to get to when you have however many subscribers. But here's where the issue comes in. People who do hard work. Hello, Total Madness. Animators. Small-time animators. People who don't do a lot of things. People who don't do a lot of crap every day. People who can't upload daily because their stuff takes a lot of work. Animators aren't sitting here pumping out content every day. They can't. The schedules cannot allow it. That and work a job. It gets down to this point of what are they supposed to do? What is anybody supposed to do on a platform that, yes, there's no obligation for YouTube to provide us with this platform. There's no obligation, which sure, I can accept that concept. There is no obligation for anybody to pay attention to this work. But here's where the hard part starts. What are they supposed to do? A lot of these animators come in here and they want to... God damn it. I've broken it. Remove. So what they're trying to do is get noticed. They want to get noticed on the platform. They want to use the platform to get noticed. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to... there you go. There's your live chat. I can see you all now. And now so can the audience. So let's grab you. Alt shrink you down. Nope. That's the wrong fucking thing. Oh, no. That's it. Hang on. I gotta apparently do it like that. Think. And take my background and put it right back where it was. God damn it. There we go. Anyway, like I was saying, people who sit here and have the ability to do these things, people who can make that kind of content on a daily basis are going to have a leg up. But it'd be nice if the platform that creators built and worked hard to build wasn't... if it wasn't an unfair platform. Because at the moment, what YouTube is geared to is content creators that are already big, content creators that are going to put out something not only every day, but consistently every day and ignore other things. People who already have a job, who can afford to not get paid by YouTube. And finally, drama channels. People can watch a drama channel. They do it all the time. World Star Hip Hop. They'll watch it constantly. And while they're watching it constantly, everybody else is suffering. And YouTube has made it effectively more difficult to use talent and skill to create animations, to create music, to do any of that stuff. Anything that takes longer than a few months to produce, if you are under 30,000 subscribers, it's pointless. If you, over a period of 6 months, have to make something, you aren't making ad revenue ever on YouTube. It is obscene, but they're willing to do this. And I think nothing against the guy. I like Phil. Phil Defranco's pretty good dude, I guess. But when he does that kind of shit of apologizing for YouTube, saying, well, you knew what you were getting into, nobody knew. And there's still shit we don't know. What exactly is going to get our channels demonetized? What exactly is going to get channels taken down? The rules aren't clear. And now they're raising the bar. Raising the bar to where animators, musicians, people who aren't already backed by a studio cannot support these channels. It's not going to happen. And yeah, sure. Here's something I could do. I could make 10,000 pounds of merchandise. And if everybody in my chat sat there and bought one shirt from it, if I set it to $20, maybe, just maybe, I would be able to take this and buy a new mic or a new camera because I can make a little bit of money. But the sad, sorry fucking fact that we are stuck with is the fact that YouTube does not care about its content creators. We're now left with a singular option. Either we find another platform that's willing to monetize the videos of smaller content creators, or we have to pick up YouTube's slack. Some of us can't afford to pick up YouTube's slack. So here is what I have to you. To those of you who are watching, and those of you who watch this later, if you even ever do. This is a challenge to every bigger content creator out there. Because we now need your help. Smaller channels need your help. Take one video from a channel you've never heard of and watch it. If you like it, feature it on a live stream. Feature it, say where it came from, who it came from, how it got there. Show people off. Because without the help of the larger content creators, smallers are not getting anywhere on this platform ever again. And it is exclusively YouTube's fault. It is shameful that I'm the one that has to talk about this. It is absolutely ridiculous that I'm the one that has to have this conversation with YouTube. I don't even know what to say about it, other than the fact that it's inexcusable on their part to behave in this way, to treat people like this. The fuck, YouTube, the fuck. It's hard to understand what to do with YouTube anymore. It's hard to understand what's going to work and what isn't. You can look in at the algorithms, you can look at what gets promoted, what doesn't, but I hate to tell you, all that algorithm bullshit ain't gonna help you. As much as I'd love to say right now that the algorithm is going to help, like you can learn it, study it, figure out how YouTube works, figure out how they're going to promote shit. Don't expect YouTube to ever promote you, even if you match the algorithm to a T. Don't expect it. Don't trust them. They are fucking you. They are taking a long, hard, cylindrical object and shoving it into an orifices. They're doing it because they don't give a crap about people at YouTube. They do not care. They've never cared about you. They want their paychecks. And if the only things you can really do is either move to another platform where they do give a shit, or try to find somebody bigger who gives a shit about the smallers. So speaking as one of the people who is a smaller channel, who will probably always be a smaller channel. As long as I've been at this, ain't ever gotten big. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna ever happen. Look at let's just take the animators that were thrown into the YouTube rewind. Jaden, God, I don't even remember her name. And the other guy, Jaden Animations, the other guy, and the one that did the backpack thing. She was all pissed off about the YouTube rewind. Do you really expect them to pump out daily content? They're storytime YouTubers. Yeah, that's what they do. But they also animate it. Animation takes time. They cannot put out daily shit. And like Boone says, a lot of people on Twitter say, just get X amount of views. It's easy. It's not fucking easy for channels just starting out. And this actively discourages Rebecca and Odds one out. Thank you, Boons. It actively discourages. It actively discourages people to be artistic, people to make quality content for this platform, people to give a shit. It's gone. Nobody's gonna care because it's all screwed up now. Not that it hasn't been before, since the first apocalypse, and they had this huge fucking overreaction about goddamn extremist content. Yeah, I get that. If you're showing ISIS beheadings and they're getting a Coca-Cola ad, somebody's gonna be pissed. Find the channels, shut them down, and put up flags to find those channels in the future. Don't punish every fucking content creator that has ever been there from there on. Do you ever think that perhaps your creators are the reason you make any goddamn money? I'm surprised they do. I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised they do make money. And I hear all these YouTubers go out and say, hey, you know, if you're serious, you're gonna end up making money. I've been serious for 10 years. I've never made any of the thresholds except with this channel, which now no longer meets that threshold. 10 years. Tell me that if I stick to it, I keep going, everything continues, I will make money. Bullshit. You have to get lucky. You have to get promoted. You have to be spread around like an angry STD in a parking lot. To maybe. That's still just a maybe. People don't think about it. And Boone's, you're exactly right. People don't fucking think about it. They ain't sitting here looking at, hey, let me see how many small YouTubers I can watch today. Nobody's fucking doing that. Nobody's going to the 100th page to get past all the PewDiePies, the Markipliers, Decepticons. Get past all the fucking Logan Pauls, Jake Pauls, fucking Rice Gums. Nobody's going to that 100th page. They're looking for the first 10 pages. They don't find what they want. They're frustrated. Speaking of somebody who watches YouTube constantly, I don't use shit like Netflix. I don't use shit like fucking Hulu. I don't have cable. I have internet. And most of my entertainment comes from YouTube. I don't go to that 100th page. And here's the real kicker. A lot of YouTube channels, before you think that you show up at the top when your name is typed in, it doesn't. You think the tags you put in your videos are going to show up? No, because everybody else is using the same goddamn tags you are. Somebody else is going to find a bigger fucking person with more fucking shit, and they are going to get that view instead of you. Unless you're getting somebody promoting your videos. Some of the YouTubers I know today, the only reason I know them is because somebody else featured them. Somebody else came. And yeah, I know this is a little ranty, but we'll have some guests on after a little bit. I'll go to break here after a while, but I'm going to pose this into our chat here. What do you think? What's the solution here? Honestly, is there one, or is it just a waste? Zephanorian in the chat says, I say we tear down the YouTube platform for fun. At this point, I'm sure somebody'd want to. I can't say he's wrong. Anybody else? I'd love to hear an opinion or two. Coach Dog says, reform YouTube. It would be nice. It would be really goddamn nice. Yeah, that's the sad part. You'd have to tell a large corporation to do something definitively fiscally incorrect for them. Let me point something out here, though. This is the sad truth. This doesn't affect me. I've never been monetized. This hurts other people, content creators I watch, content creators I care about, give a shit about, people I want to see succeed. They aren't gonna. They ain't gonna make it to that success. Well, yeah. See, that's the thing, Boons. If somebody sets back, let's say, $20 a month, $20 a month to anybody, and then spreads it out amongst 20 creators, that dollar helps more than you will ever think. But regardless, it ain't gonna help. It's a drop in the fucking bucket. It might hit somebody, give them a little bit of motivation, but then they're gonna get let down. That's the sad part. Somebody's gonna get let down. I don't have a problem with them having standards, but I think it should be, if you ask me, the best way to do it would be if they took it and the content itself had to be reviewed by, let's say, somebody from the company. Just have people that review videos say, hey, this kind of content is fine. Find some of the best shit and some of the worst shit. Have a shitty team of people come in. Have that little shitty team say, okay, this one's okay for our company. This one's okay for our company. This one's okay for our company. And then sweep across. Ads can be played on all of those videos. And if it's a hit to YouTube to pay those creators, decrease how much AdSense you make. Or, yeah, fuck that. Add a smaller channels page for people under 100,000 subs. Feature a different creator every day. Just have it all fucking up there. People who want this can have it. People who want to grow their channels can get the exposure they need. And that is what I say. That's what I contest every YouTuber out there that they're big and they're saying this is fine. It's fine. Feature a smaller channel on your channel. You think it's fine? Give them some exposure. They need it. They desperately need it. As for me, if YouTube cuts my channel down, I don't even care anymore. I got a false flag from Digby, company I've never heard from, for using a song I didn't use in a video of me talking. So tell me how that shit makes sense. Filed an appeal, whatever. But I'm going to go to break, see if I can't find some guests who might want to talk about their content. So while we're doing that, anybody want to come on, just send me a message at Minister Orange. That is on, oh, God. Oh, sorry. At Minister Orange on Twitter. Shoot me a message if you want to come on. As long as you stick to topic, I don't care who comes on. Thank you guys for listening. I do appreciate it, and we'll be right back.
like me, been in pain like me, bought $100 bottle of champagne like me, just to pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Would you use your water bill to try to skate on money when I say mine? Please make that lies with a slut. And your son is smoking cannabis. No one ever listens, it's wallpaper glistens. Don't let them see what goes down in the kitchen. You know the people say, God, this is not cheap. The kind of a machine, I'm not trying to be. It's on the screen. For your self-esteem, so you have to be. I see things that nobody else sees. This wallpaper glistens. One day they'll see what goes down in the kitchen. My songs all systems go. Sun hasn't gone deep in my bones, straight from inside. Hey girl, people say places, no traces. Going on the shots and the lights on the faces. Everyone thinks that I see. Make some sense of the conversation. Picture, smile for the picture. Always make you go, which I I see things that nobody else sees. I see things that nobody else sees. We'll carry on, we'll carry on. And very upset, I can't believe me. Your memory will carry on, you'll carry on. And then when I can't contain it, the anthem will explain it. Remembering for centuries, my teenage dreams. No, it's nothing wrong with me. The kids are all wrong, the stories are wrong. Heavy metal broke my heart. Now that I know what I'm without, you can just leave me. Breathe into me and make me real. Bring me to life. Wake me up inside. I can't wake up. Wake me up inside. Save me. Call my name and save me from the dark. Wake me up. Bid my blood to run. I can't wake up before I come undone. Save me. Save me from the nothing I've become. Remember me for centuries. Oh, well, that sends you reeling from decimated dreams. Your misery and hate will kill us all. So paint it black and take it back and let's shout it loud and clear. Defiant to the end, we hear the call. To carry on, we'll carry on. And warriors said I can't believe me. Your memory will carry on, we'll carry on. And though we ever broken and defeated, your weary
Hello, everybody, and we are back. Oh, goodness gracious. We are trying really hard to not have a... I'm trying not to lose my shit. You know what I mean? You ever have that issue?
Yeah, I've been there.
That.
Can you hear me
There
all
we
right,
go.
by the way?
All right, so here we are. I am back. I think Minty's in here with us.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being out here for a little bit.
God damn it.
And nice CSI shirt, by the way.
Let me bump up your volume.
Oh,
God
sorry.
damn it. I'm still going. Give me just a second there.
That's fine.
It's hard to hear you. Okay,
Sorry,
Tom?
it's the phone. I blame it.
No, it's the setup. It's kind of a pain in the ass.
It's fine though. I mean, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad at the moment. It's just kind of hard to get everything else set up.
Yeah, because I had to set it up last night.
Yeah.
I mean, I do love you. You know that, right, babe?
Yeah, I'm at the moment just trying to figure out how to make it to where you're not fucking echoing through me through this stupid voice meter thing.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
You might.
That's an issue. I'm not sure if you're echoing through me or not. Let me
No, I don't hear an echo.
I'm sure you don't hear an echo. I'm talking about the audience. Let me this way. And there.
Fixed. Is it fixed now?
It should be fixed. Yeah.
Okay. So, you were talking about the Philip Defranco thing.
Yeah. What's your take on it?
I'm not 110% on it. I think it's not necessarily a good move on YouTube's part. Because mostly, again, like, for, like, the people who do, like, we were watching this the other day on Digby's, channel. The meme, animator, basically,
Yeah,
people that make that for commissions.
Yeah.
There's no way they're gonna be noticed with 30-second freaking memes. And, you know, like, there's no way, no possible fucking way. Unless they're constantly, like, pumping out 30-second meme compilations, there's no fucking way.
They're working constantly, and animators can't keep that kind of pace up.
Yeah, and it kind of screws them up, and it also kind of screws people like oh god, unless like they do like a huge fucking like commissions done this week, or commissions done this month, or shit like that.
Yeah.
And then just do a huge compilation on that.
Yeah, and sadly, like that's kind of the thing, man. Like bigger creators could really use your help, man.
Well, yeah, but there's also my only problem with this entire thing is not only that, but oh, hi, Spudwick.
Hello.
But
Hey, first time on the channel.
What up, man?
But it's also it also limits people who I would assume are very close and again, Philip actually brought it up. He says there's no grandfather clause, which is really dumb. So the people who hit this mark but don't necessarily have all the requirements are kind of fucked.
Yeah, the people who hit the old mark are still not monetized under the new mark.
Or they're no longer
getting kicked
anymore.
Out of the YouTube partner program because of it.
Yeah, and there's no way I wanted to be part of YouTube partner anyway, but still, even if I wanted to be, there's no fucking way that I could be monetized now.
To be fair, you're more likely to make it than I am.
Well, I had to have like over 5,000 fucking for watch time at one point. I don't know why.
What,
like 500 like 5,000 it was 5,000, sorry. It was 5,000 for watch time in total.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was for everybody, but I know it definitely was for me though. So
yeah. Well, I tell you exactly how you got that, and it's that freaking regressive dance video. That's how you got.
How did you dare judge me? I love that one. That was fucking cancer. Actually, somebody gave me that idea, and then I ran with it because we were talking about it.
Yeah,
and
you fucking ran with it, all right.
And it was funny. It was like just after I got that program, I'm like, God, that would be fucking perfect. And I only did like a minute and some seconds on that fucking thing, but it was perfect. because it perfectly described what was fucking happening at the time. Because Tim, Demotivator Opinion, I think is his fucking YouTube channel's name. But
yeah, Demotivator.
yeah, he had recently gone on Shive's channel, and is basically how you ever see a dog that growls at everything else, but there's that one person that'll just wag its tail and be like, "Daddy, love me," kind of fucking. No, Oreo was loving to everybody, but that's beside the point. Well, most people, except for new people. But anyway, that's exactly what fucking happened on that live stream, and the funny and fucking Steve Shives had the steak. Let's be fair here, and so his reaction to that, and he actually commented on that video. Actually, I don't know if you could pull it up, but I think he said something along the lines of best video ever or some bullshit like that. He laughed. He thought it was funny. Don't judge me.
Okay. I just realized I was muted because I was trying to let you talk. But this is the first time we've got Spudwick on, and it's.
I will ramble for fucking 10 minutes.
Stop, honey. Stop.
No.
Okay. Let's get the opinions.
We respect your opinions and all, and we're gonna let you finish.
So, what's your take on all this stuff?
Oh, well, I mean, to be honest, it's all bullshit. Like the entire thing. They started out as a platform for anybody. Anybody can do anything. Post whatever you want. Yes, if it's violent or something like that, they will take it down. That's kind of a no-brainer. But as soon as it turns into one of those, you have to meet requirements and you have to do this, this is no longer a platform for anybody. You have to be, one, lucky, like you said, two, popular, or you already have to have a following somewhere else. You don't have the ability to just start off on YouTube anymore. It's not a thing.
Yeah, you can't do it and be able to survive doing it. Like, well, you have to have a job.
Well, or Patreon. And you have to spam Patreon.
Yes.
Sorry.
Or you have to just be a freaking chick with huge tits. Then you get millions of viewers. Like,
okay, Spudwick. Yeah, define huge tits for me for a second.
Define huge tits, honey.
Jessica Negri.
So D-cup or
like Jessica Negri big.
I don't know that person.
Jessica, she's a cosplayer. She's got like D's, maybe double D's.
Well, you've reached the level of where I have. Thank you very much.
You don't show them enough, honey.
Yeah, that's not my fault. If I could wear, if I could, I would wear tank tops constantly. I fucking love tank tops. Don't fucking judge me. I can sense it in the background there.
Jesus Christ!
I can hear you judging me right now.
I fucking love tank tops. Actually, they're one of my favorite fucking. It's because it gets hot in the room with my computer, and because of that. It's not because I like to show my cleavage or anything. It's comfort. It's comforting to have one. And if I'm too cold, I'll just wear a jacket.
Comfortable, not comforting, but still, I get where
still,
you're
it's still comforting too because at least I'm not dripping fucking sweat everywhere.
Honey.
Shut up. I love you.
Jesus, I love you too.
No, YouTube has turned into one of those kind of joke things. Like, if you don't act stupid, if you genuinely act like yourself, no one's gonna watch you anymore. Yeah. It's like, generally, I think, I don't know if I'm breaking your character, Ichabod, or anything like that, but you're probably one of the nicest motherfuckers I know. It's like, let's be honest, you are probably one of the nicest motherfuckers I know. And
hey.
It might be breaking your character, and I don't care, but for God's sakes, if you're a nice guy, you just don't get views.
Spudwick, don't lie. I'm joking.
Ichabod being a nice guy? Ugh.
What is this nice?
Why do we watch this motherfucker?
What is this nice they're speaking of?
Talk about Moka earlier, now she's here.
You talk about me and I appear.
Basically,
it's like Satan.
Spudwick was just saying that unless you get really lucky, there was another point. I've completely spaced it at this point. But or if you have gigantic tits. So in comes Moka.
Hello, I am the large-titted woman. Haunts your nightmares.
Moka, what
for
was your
some
tit size
context
last you had?
Oh, wow.
My tit size is a 38H.
Yeah,
Currently.
that's surprising. Yeah.
Anyway, for some context, Spudwick, Moka here is one of the people that I work with on Tuesdays. We do the Hallowed Gaming.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And
you get very, very, very angry at Aaron.
Jay,
it's not my
Robo
fault.
Daddy.
Aaron is a terrible person.
Just because Aaron wants your skull on a daily basis doesn't mean anything.
To be fair, the feeling is mutual. I want his skull.
He wants to put you
I want to
upon
make
the
a
skull
cup
throne.
out of it to drink coffee.
He just wants to make a throne.
Hi, Jay.
By the way, why do
Jay?
you sound different now, Minty?
Because I'm on my phone.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say because you got older, but okay.
Yes, finally not
Well, there's that
Molly.
too, I suppose.
Huh?
So, since we've got you guys in here, Jay, Moka, what do you guys think about the new monetization stuff, the partner program crap that's been going down?
I don't care because I get a shit ton of money anyway.
Yeah, because you've got the boobs, Moka, but do you think it's fair to, like, let's say animators?
Okay,
No.
animators I think is kind of horseshit, especially because there are some amazing animators out there, but they may get like three less views than they need, and they don't get paid. I think that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Because there's one
And because of
animator I know, he makes, I think it's like a month, he makes 3,998 views a month, and I'm like, oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna get going. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I gotta get to work, babe. Love you.
Later.
Bye.
Bye, Minty.
Kill yourself, all of you.
I'll rape you. I'll rape you later. Don't worry about it. I got you.
If you get down to it, like, this is 4,000 hours of watch time in the past 12 months. And if you're an animator, you can't put shit out every day.
I have a different.
Unless you're Pie-mation.
I have a different perspective, I guess.
What's
Which
up?
nobody should be surprised at all that I have a different perspective.
Oh, no, it's a day that ends with Y. Taxation is theft, motherfuckers.
That's right. But here's I did warn everybody a year ago. That's why I keep bringing up that video I did for Red. But there's more to it than that, right? Because if you're going to talk about, like, from the creative side, right? Just purely the creative side, like animation, there are short films that I have seen that I've shown my film school teachers, right? And everybody thought they were great. They had less than 1,000 views. There was some really great artistic work out there, but it just won't get seen because
It doesn't have the exposure.
Yeah, it doesn't have the exposure. I mean, now that's partly the individual's fault for not pimping their product, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Right? This is all one aspect. All this does is totally confirm that I can't take my company to YouTube. And this is what I've been thinking about a lot for the past year, is what will be a viable platform to put my short films on. And I don't know of a good platform right now at all. And that sucks because, film is a visual medium. That's one perspective.
You're absolutely right on that. I mean, if you want to get exposure right now, YouTube is the biggest thing. It still is, and it will be 10 years down the line probably. But the biggest thing is, because you get exposure to a small fraction of people, it's not going to give you that opportunity to, go big with what your animation's doing. It's like, that's the biggest problem with everything, is YouTube's algorithm and all that, where you can search for the exact name of somebody's video, and if something's more popular, it's going to be above that.
Well, this has to do with that concept. Actually, has to do with market flooding. Sorry, Moka. Go ahead.
Well, as long as you make the videos on the correct topics, such as all you have to do is just see what the biggest meme is that day, and you motherfucking can get a shit ton of views by just making a video or a movie about that meme. That's how Pie-mation did it. He made the way he got big if you actually look, he got big because of Five Nights at Freddy's. That's when he fucking hit and skyrocketed. Because as soon as as soon as any type of game comes out, and you have the talent to actually go in, you can fucking just destroy the market. Because I will say, I've watched them and fucking laughed.
Right, but what you're talking about is sorry to interrupt again. But what you're talking about, actually, there's a concept called market flooding. Where you're the first person to get into the market and you just dump lots of cheap, because quality takes time. And this is actually a major argument, especially from the more conservative sides of the libertarian, economic circles, is it takes time to build quality. It goes back to R and K selection theory, blah, 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 right? A different point of view is everybody's unhappy with YouTube, yet nobody is investing in another platform or creating it themselves.
They tried and it failed. So
yeah, it's just not working.
Because not only, Jay, I don't think you understand. Making a YouTube, you're gonna have to buy a fucking building to put memory servers in. That's what they have to do. They have memory servers in the fucking ocean now because it can't contain all the memory it's taken for all the fucking videos.
Well, actually, there's another way to do it.
Which is actually really cool. I actually watched them actually put one of the memory servers down into the ocean. It was actually kind of cool. We can't contain it.
I guess that's going to keep it cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is also why the Bitcoin miners position their stuff underwater or in high northern climates. That way it keeps all the stuff cool. But there's another option. And only like the super crazy weirdos like myself would even talk about it, but you can do the same idea with blockchain. You can decentralize it, and that way everyone has a copy, and that way the copy can't be controlled by a single entity. The downside on that is it's very hard to market yourself when you do it that way. I mean, I know I'm going to get pushback on that, but there's a truth to that, because if I don't own every aspect of something. Let's take the guy who did Spawn, right? He owns the toy company. He owns the comic book. He owns all of it. So he can market it the way he wants. He can do anything he wants. He's beholden to only the customers, right? But he
makes no money because it's fucking Spawn, and he gets no exposure.
At one time, he made quite a bit of money.
He got one fucking movie, and then he made like a couple bucks off of a little bit of fucking comic books. That's it. He didn't make barely anything.
Well, my point is, though, if you have total control over something, that is considered a monopoly, right? Like a woman owns her own body kind of aspect, right? It's the same thing for things you produce. Now, the flip side of that is the second you give it out, whether it's for money, whether it's for free, whether it's for whatever, you lose a little bit of control. If you're okay with the repercussions monetarily.
Huh? There's a comic book artist I actually fucking love. They made ElfQuest and the many variants upon that. They're called Richard Wendy Penny. They sold, I think it's 1/4 of their company to God damn it, I can't remember which one it was, but it was one of the big comic book people. I think it was DC, and they sold the other 1/4 to Marvel. And then they had the other half. And Marvel and DC had no control over anything that they did, because they would be like, okay, we want less sex in there, so they put more, and they just gave up after a while.
Well, but again, that has to do with, again, they're still the monopoly holders of the largest shares of the company.
Not really.
Right?
Not really.
No. If you have one half and then two, and then each other group has a quarter, you still have the monopoly of shares.
Not really when it comes to comic books. All they had was the characters. That's all they had in that half. The rest of them had the stories. It's what you have to give out to actually become successful. That's the reason why they made a shit ton of money, even though they were like barely known. They're like one of those. I
think I met one of the creators of that comic.
Which one?
Like years ago.
Because I met both of them. I got them to sign like a shit ton of my stuff. It was great.
I'm not 100% sure.
They're hippies.
But like when I was a little kid, right? I got associated with various people, because my parents were involved in certain things. So I might have met them. It might be a different comic. I don't know. I met a lot of interesting people when I was younger. Like I played a chess master when I was like 10. you let me win because
Oh.
I'm pretty sure, you know.
Just saying, if you met Richard Wendy Penny when you were a child, your parents are horrible. Just because of the fact of the shit they do and how creepy they are. They were creepy to me, and I'm an adult.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying that comic sounds familiar. I know I met a guy who created a comic. Now I think he sold it, but I met them when I was really, really young. Because again, my
Okay,
parents were kind of odd.
they literally do bestiality in their shit.
Okay, let's
Okay.
get back.
Okay, well then it might be a different person. You know?
Okay.
Okay, let's get back on topic.
My
Back to
point is
the YouTube shit.
with YouTube though, right? It's the same thing with like independent creators, right? Everybody says they hate the corporations and they hate big business and they hate all that shit, but they do nothing to support the little independent creators. You see this in the indie world all the time. This is why indie guys either have to do a DIY everything or front it themselves and may not make any money on it. And people always say that it's a blame on capitalism. It's not. It's a blame on who's in control of what. It's a side effect, right? Because you know when groups subdivide, right? Let's say if I don't like atheists at all, I will never associate with atheists. Blah 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 blah. Right? Then even if an atheist does good science or good work on anything, I can't associate with him because I've already put that wall up. You see what I mean? But anybody who's
basically
open,
you fucked yourself.
Yeah, but if you're open, and that means you have to be completely open, and that's what Hollywood is now. It's so completely open, which is why I made a comment about an indie film that hit Sundance, and it's like, oh my God, could you be any more blatant like the stereotype gay? I mean, I'm okay if you have gay characters, but Jesus Christ, literally this Sundance film, I don't remember the name of it now, but it's an older man grooming a teenager.
So it's Big Gay Al, the animated series.
Yeah, but it's like, but that's what you have to do to make it in Hollywood, and that in a lot of ways, and that's actually been known for a long time, and that sucks. Yeah. Especially if you don't if you put out educational stuff, you're relatively safe.
Yeah.
You know, but again, the problem is who controls what. You know, and in the entertainment industry, it's very unionized, and the unions always dump money to Democrats. YouTube is the same way.
Jay, I understand what you're getting across. All right, but like I have to take control of my stream back here, man.
It's fun.
I'm sorry. Like there are other guests, man.
No, it's fine.
The big question, he brings it up, and I mean he makes really good points. What would you do? How would you start a new platform? How would you do something to make it better for small creators?
Any thoughts?
Decentralize it.
Well, yeah, we know yours is decentralized. I mean,
yeah, but in what way? Completely stop posting on YouTube?
Well, some people I know have already stopped posting on YouTube, actually, and they have completely moved off the platform. But again, a lot of their content they're putting out is questionable to begin with, so I don't feel bad for that loss. You know what I mean? I don't really want to hear about like how blacks are, blah blah blah. It's like, no, dude, shut the fuck up. I'm glad you're gone. You know what I mean? But there is other people who are trying to decentralize every network, and blockchain. A lot of people are supposedly thinking blockchain is the way to go because it's the distributive network. But again, I don't see how you could get necessarily paid for that because you can always do a claim that say, "Oh, I did this." This is where I clash a lot with the other libertarians and anarchists. It's like saying the whole IP thing. If we redid the IP, it would be easier. But another way to do it is do it the old-fashioned way, and passing it along through DMs, and have it where it could be on YouTube, but it would be like less is private. and you pass it on. This is the way artists used to do their work. They would be, do it like a drug dealer kind of thing. Like, hey,
Yeah, you're thinking like a chain letter type of thing. Like I give you something and you give it to somebody else.
Yeah,
And they give it to somebody else.
This is how video games actually got big when I was a kid. Is you'd go to these little swap meets and you had these free share or cost like $5, and you would literally trade video games. I mean, we used to go to the ones at Commodore all the time, and that is another way to get your product out. Is because if the underground embraces it, this sounds kind of crazy, but if the underground embraces it, it will eventually hit mainstream. I mean, all the memes you see now originated from 4chan or originated from somewhere else. So they've been in the system a while. They've just been circulating and being refined, and then they get spit back out. But that's one way to do it. That's very long, but
I mean, that's just the biggest problem with anyone trying to start out. Like if I'm probably the smallest YouTuber in the room, would be my guess.
Nope.
No.
Jay's got you beat on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't make content, so
yeah.
I'm the second smallest YouTuber in the room. Well, what I do on YouTube, I've stopped it. I've stopped it because, I did this whole entire thing for, I've been doing it for about 3 years now, not as long as Ichabod or anything like that, but I did it for 3 years and I saw nothing. Now, for me, I'm a gamer. I don't do political stuff, and I don't do anything like that, or animation. I do games. So for me, leaving YouTube was actually the smartest thing that I've ever done, and I went over to Twitch. And Twitch for gamers is amazing, but I found out recently that IRL stuff is actually really good on Twitch as well.
Well, this is what I'm saying is if you can, the one option is switching platforms. I mean, the little video that I made for Red Robot, I talk about this. You could either switch platforms or create your own. If you create your own, that's a huge time and money sink, but it's more rewarding in the end. Or you could switch platforms and vote with your feet, so to speak. If company X does not treat you right, the peaceful thing to do is be like, I don't want to do business with you. I'm out. That's how the free market works. The downside is coming from the film world, right? Because technically these are all films. It doesn't matter what the content is. There, it's still in the medium of visual entertainment, right?
It's all art.
It can be all classified as art. But the problem is everyone that I know of that I've kind of roughly looked at has all been kind of compromised in a way that if you're purely just putting out like movie type art, you're going to go to Vimeo. So, but I've heard from guys, the actual filmmakers, of saying they don't go to Vimeo anymore to put their stuff out because Vimeo is fucking them over too. And so I've heard some of them come over to YouTube, right? But I've also heard a lot of YouTube creators saying, no, we're out, we're going to BitChute or whatever else, DTube, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But again, it goes back to if you don't own the distributive mechanism, you won't see the maximal reward on it. You're giving a piece of it out for distributive rights.
Yeah.
I can see torrents being a help on this, but again, you're going to have people who you're going to have a way to, because it's a twofold problem, right? It's distribution and exposure, right? So let's say, I mean, I'm very happy Shoe on Head, and I actually did subscribe to one of the people that she pimped, and that's awesome. I am very happy that some of the bigger channels are pimping smaller channels. That makes me happy. That shows kind of the whole communal love thing, right? The downside is, right, if people aren't incentivized to do something, they won't do it, right? Unless it's for the pure love of it, right? Like, I'm going to make short films whether I make money or not. I would like to make money because crews are expensive and I don't have a lot of money, right?
Right.
But on the same time, if you're trying to satisfy purely what the consumer wants all the time, then it can put you in a category of having to agree with stuff that you might not necessarily agree with just to put out a product. And again, you see this with other things too. The free market is great, but the free market is if you take a moral stance. Let's say I again go back to let's say I hate atheists, right? And if I make any comment about atheism, and I'm trying to operate in the free market will push me out. So it's very hard. You have to really balance. This is why there's the idea of what they call the gray man. You don't say anything. You don't if you're a cheesemaker, you just be like, I made cheese. I hope you like it, and you sell to everybody, and you don't let anybody know your political viewpoints. You know.
Yep.
Speak of the devil, our largest YouTuber is here now, Red Robot.
Hey, it's not my fault I'm 50 foot high. Greetings, YouTube. Yet another podcast stupid enough to let me on.
Hey, Red, how you be, homie?
Not bad. How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Yeah, more or less, it's going pretty badass. That said, what's your take on this new demonetization wave?
Well, it is, I think, a crude attempt to solve a complicated problem. Because one thing that a lot of people either don't know or are unwilling to admit is that, and this is aside from the whole YouTube owns its corporation and all that stuff. YouTube is not making any money. They are
actually
having
losing money.
Yeah, they have a cost versus profit income problem. And one of the costs that, as somebody pointed out, I forget how many thousands of hours of material are uploaded to YouTube every minute. It's ridiculous. I thought it was like 3,000 hours or something like that. Yeah, some of it. Most of it will go on from a point of view of any serious advertisers. Most of it will go unwatched in any serious capacity. And anyone who has any background in IT has some understanding how big of a problem that is. If you've got tons and tons of material that never gets used, you have a problem. You can't make money off of it. So they have done an odd thing that I understand, because what they want, because what they're doing right now, I think for YouTube's business model is a lot like gold prospecting. They are shoveling tons and tons and tons of stone in hopes of finding a golden hit. Like, whether they like to admit it or not, PewDiePie is one of their golden hits.
Oh, yeah.
No one could have forcibly made PewDiePie. You can't do that. You couldn't, it's kind of like getting a studio band together, where they pull hey, we just first met at the studio. Now, don't get me wrong. The occasional really good band has come out of that. But by and large, that is not how you can't manufacture a good band. Yeah. Nobody made the Rolling Stones. Nobody made the Beatles. They did make the Backstreet Boys. But
well, the Beatles made the Beatles.
Well, but you're talking about the organic nature of the market.
Well, yes, but YouTube is trying to basically sift through all of the stone to find the occasional gold. The problem is that they've got to the point where the cost of sifting through the stone has gotten too high. And part of it is because people that they sell the gold to are not as crazy about the results of of what they're buying. So let's how to put this. The way they're going about deciding who gets monetized and who not gets monetized, what they're doing is they're saying, okay, we're going to make this decision about whether or not we want to get advertisers involved in your product, and we can't. They can't go through everyone's channel. They literally don't have the time for that. There is no way they could pay enough people to go through all of the content and make sure it's usable. They can't. It's just impossible. So what they've done, and I think it's a very crude attempt to do it, but and I don't like it necessarily, but I understand what they're saying is if you have enough subscribers and you have enough times viewed, then you will be more likely to be worth the time to see if advertising would be a worthwhile effort for you. Otherwise, it basically raises the threshold because they simply don't have enough time to do it fairly. So they have to basically say, okay, look, you can get in the judgment pool under these circumstances, and I hate to say it, I find myself defending it because it's a logistical decision. They literally don't have enough people to be fair. They can't do it.
You're using the benchmark clause, and I'm okay with the benchmark clause. I really am. Like, you need to be this tall to ride the ride. You know,
exactly.
I'm okay with that. The problem is, if you remember a couple months back or maybe a year ago, the whole YouTube Heroes thing came in.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, and so with the mass
apply to be hero.
With the mass flagging of certain channels, though, you know. Because remember, not that long ago, what's his face, the guy in Russia who makes stuff and tests it out?
Yeah,
he got nailed. He's not political at all.
Nope.
So if somebody like him can get nailed, you have no chance. I definitely have no chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got flagged by some random company.
Right.
For something I didn't even use, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I hate that shit. That happens a lot.
But again, this goes back to the IP problem. I mean, I hate saying that, but this goes back to a lot of this has to do with if you're not pulling or siding with whatever narrative the company that you're working with is pushing, they will ostracize you for good or bad. So it doesn't matter if what you're saying is correct or incorrect. That's what will happen. That's what happens in all groups. It's called sifting. But I agree with Red. I mean, there's not many things that Red and I will disagree on, but it's the mega problem though is unless I'm, like I brought up the indie film, unless I'm willing to do like a gay orgy in every film I do, I'm never gonna get known by Hollywood or by YouTube.
That's not really in right now. You actually have to look what's in. Gay orgies aren't in anymore. Gay orgies were in the 90s.
Right, but you know what I'm saying though.
Gotta have all them gay cowboys eating pudding.
That was in the 90s too. Like legit, like if you wanted to get in with Hollywood currently, and I hate to be like rude or anything, but you have to have an all-women cast.
Yep.
You have to have an all-women cast. It has to be a woman having a very powerful role. You have to make sure that you have an Englishman or an Irishman as the main villain. You also have to make sure that the entire time you can actually see that they are physically doing stuff the entire time, or you literally will fall off the benchmark.
Spudwick is the best main villain.
Yes, he just comes in. He's like, "Get to my belly."
but this works. This works on the small scale, on the small screen too, which is what YouTube is, right? TV used to be it, but this is the new small screen, so to speak, right? So unless I'm appealing to the masses, whether it's a right opinion or a wrong opinion, whatever, unless I'm appealing to the masses, your business will completely dry up. And unfortunately, like the big players in YouTube, they do play the political game.
I almost forgot. They also have to either make a very, very sad story involving two gay men who cannot truly express themselves. That's actually the big one that just happened not too long ago. I can't remember. I think it was the Shattered Heart. It went viral.
As a quick heads up, we might actually be getting somebody who's in with the animation community to come in. I don't know if he's actually going to show, but I asked him and he said sure. So, Digby the Goat.
No,
I have no idea who that is.
But by the way, like, I don't know if you saw that message, Red, but the video, that one I did for you that I put back in the chat, that had an ad on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it had an ad on it, you would think, because YouTube's getting free content, right?
Yeah.
You'd think you would get a portion of that ad revenue. I'm not saying you do or don't. I'm just pointing that out. It's like it's kind of hypocritical to say your channel's unworthy of ads and then slap an ad on it.
Well, is it the yellow money sign, or is it the green money sign, or was it a gray money sign?
No, man.
Because yellow still means you get ads. It just means not all people put ads on it.
I have no idea. I don't.
It's me.
Hey, Digby.
Hi.
I can't see.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Oh, we're here to talk about ads. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's sweet. I love talking about ads.
I'm waiting for it. The other shoe's gonna drop here in just a minute.
Yeah.
Who's the guy in the car? Is he...
That's Spudwick. This is Mistaken Lunatics, also known as Moka, Red Robot, and Jay the Magic Robot. They are friends of mine.
Robot.
And we've been discussing this whole thing about the.
I don't give a shit.
New...
I just want to know about the guy in the car.
Oh, that's Spudwick.
You mean that sexy beast that's in the car with the arms?
Okay.
It's obviously a part of Team Rocket.
Okay.
Absolutely, I'm part of Team Rocket.
We're talking about ads. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. So, the way I see it, YouTube is very trigger happy with this stupid fucking ad removal system. And it just makes it harder for everyone. I'm fortunate enough that like I was able to make a fairly sizable chunk of money off my latest video. I'm tired of doing this voice.
Okay, I was
It's a
like,
very tiring voice to do. I'm on board with that. It's a giant pain in the ass.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
I appreciate you.
Don't you make me start doing voices now. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Calm down.
No,
No, let's not do that.
I'll kill myself right now.
Anyways, so
Please don't do it.
basically, like, the main point I'm making is that
No, go back to
YouTube-
the other voice.
Damn it. Let him make his point. Come on now.
Okay.
Anyways, the main point I'm trying to make here is that, like, ads are extremely fickle, and you run the risk of, like if a video happens to get a, I don't know. I don't know if there's any correlation, but one time I asked for an ad removal to be investigated, and it ended up with that same video getting age restricted. So it's like that's not what I wanted, but thanks.
It was probably all the dicks in the video, right?
It was
The subliminal dicks.
it was like a video talking about Ed's World animations.
All the Ed's World memes one got taken for adult?
Yeah, it's age restricted. That one and the Loud House fan fiction that I read like in May of last year, but that one had like kids getting raped and shit, so it wasn't. I can imagine.
But
That one
I'm
more
actually
or less.
surprised. I'm actually surprised my gaming video did not get age restricted.
Which
but I
one?
remember this goes
Oh,
back to kind of what I'm saying. Go ahead.
Pretty much, we did Sally Face, and we were speculating on how Sally lost his face, right?
What the fuck is Sally Face?
Sally Face is an indie game. Actually,
Sounds
extremely,
like it sucks.
it's actually amazing. I really enjoyed it.
I've yet to
But-
find an indie game that doesn't suck.
I enjoyed it. I actually suggested it's free.
Papers, please.
No.
It's
No.
subjective. It's subjective.
But anyways, me and Fang were speculating
Okay,
on how
I-
Sally
Shovel Knight is
fade.
alright.
and
Yeah, Shovel Knight.
pretty much we put it to rape and molestation. we just went horrible with it. It was his father and shit. Yeah, it was
Jesus.
bad. You can't leave us alone for 2 seconds, Ichabod. We get horrible. We need you there.
Apparently
Come on.
not.
This is your chat, and you're letting it out of control. This is your fault, not ours.
You
Well,
can't
no,
leave
it's the,
Moki and Fang alone.
Yeah, that's a good point. I can't leave you two alone. You'd be doing terrible shit.
Yes.
But you know,
Fuck it, Jeff.
hopefully everybody kind of sees my point. This is an expectation of the market. It has to do with the purity thing, right? So if I'm, let's say, talking about a hot topic, and it's controversial, it's going to get a lot of views. and it might earn a lot of revenue. But then you throw the YouTube Heroes thing on there, and everybody flags it because let's say it actually is telling the truth about something, and people don't like that, they'll downvote it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying this is actually a manifestation of a combination of things.
Yeah.
But they basically if you want to have, it goes like the idea, if you want to have free speech, then everybody has free speech. If you don't, then don't.
Okay. But to the point of why I asked Digby to come in is his area of expertise is animation stuff. So I wanted to ask, how do you think this is going to affect animators?
Animators are. I don't think there's like much more you can do to fuck over animators. Like we've already got even the animators that do get recognized, they're like Jaden, the odd ones out, just absolute garbage. They like, you know how in the latest YouTube Rewind, they're just even in animation, like they think they're throwing a bone to the animators out there. They're just like showing the most marketable ones. You didn't see Hot Diggity Demon or Psychic Pebbles or Oni NG or it's like it's not even just animators. It's anyone who really wants to put effort into their video and not just be an attractive face. Like find a single person who isn't like, I don't know, Jacksepticeye or Markiplier or PewDiePie in the YouTube Rewind that anyone would recognize.
To be fair, I didn't recognize any of them.
I didn't know who the fuck they were either.
I didn't watch it because, you know.
All my YouTube friends are heathens.
Yeah.
Don't judge me.
Hey,
I'm not.
Simon's cat was in it though. That guy's actually pretty respectable, and he does good animations. But that's like 1 out of 4.
Yeah.
The other
Well, I don't know.
Simon's cat is pretty inoffensive. He's basically turned the cat video into animation. I can't blame him for that. I mean, you know, it's what he likes apparently, and it's actually based on his cat. So I'm like, okay. I mean, at least he's honest. It's from his, you know, it's not something he just cooked up and said, this will be marketable. Just something he did for fun.
Slice of life shit.
Yeah.
Do you guys know who the guy who does Freedom Tunes is?
Skepticeye wasn't in Rewind.
I just go off of what I've seen in other rewinds because I know that they include a lot of Let's Players. He was probably in one of them.
Yeah.
Do you guys know who does Freedom Tunes?
No.
Oh, Seamus.
Yeah, Seamus, right? I'm pretty sure Seamus is partnered up with Fee, so that's probably how he's making money now.
Seamus from like
Freedom Tunes. He's a libertarian.
It's a libertarian cartoon channel. You would hate it. You would absolutely fucking hate it.
Well, but
it's because of like a lot of times there's little cracks in the animation that just make it look like trash.
What? I actually fucking love that shit. It makes it like actually really good.
I like it.
No, I like Dark Matter 2525, and his animation is pretty simplistic and
except he's yeah. I'm not gonna go down that road.
It's more about the quality of animation. We're not necessarily discussing the content of his message.
Well, but this goes back to, like I was saying, the indie film, right? There's a short film called Paths of Hate, right? There is no dialogue. It's all, like, I believe, hand-drawn animation, right?
Okay.
And that's one of the ones I showed to the professors at film school, and they thought it was awesome. But it had less than 1,000 views. So unless you're like a film nerd, no one's going to watch that. And that sucks because the art was so good. Because it wasn't like 3D animated, you know, like a CGI kind of thing. It looked like it was the old pencil style.
Yeah, the thing I've noticed is most channels need some sort of viral moment, you know. That seems then you have to sustain it somehow. And of course, you know, with animation and everything else, and then there's no getting around the fact that a good accent or a pretty face will help a lot.
Yeah.
You know, you know, and I've said this before, and people get some people get testy about it. Some people are like, well, yeah, and I'm like, it's not. It's just a fact of human nature. Like, you know, this is one that I remember. Roaming Millennial got really uptight about it. Got a lot of flack about it. But you know, I don't think it's any coincidence that she got a lot more popular after she stopped using the little stock animation and started showing her face, which she's reasonably attractive, has nice makeup, and what have you.
Oh yeah, she's actually really pretty.
Wrong with her ideas, but it's no accident that those two things occurred, and that makes her very salty because she doesn't want to be thought of as someone who's, you know, just a pretty face. And I'm like, that's not my point. It's much easier to get delivery of your ideas when you're all so fun to look at. There's no getting around that. That's also what animation can make.
It's kind of like Liberal Lunacy. She's gorgeous, and you can see what she gets like a fucking lot of views. I think she also, what?
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know who that is. Yeah. You and I are gonna have to agree to disagree there, but
I think she's really pretty. Also, she has the fetish of the cripples.
Yeah, this
a lot of men fetish cripples.
Like what we're talking about, I have an actor friend who's a teacher, right? And we were talking about this very subject about even in voice acting work, right? If your face is not marketable, it doesn't matter how talented you are as a voice actor. And he was like, no, blah blah. And I was like, okay. And you know, go pull up the most famous voice actors and tell me they're not pretty to look at.
You know? I will show you a couple voice actors who are like completely gross looking, and they are still huge.
Back on fucking topic. For Christ's sake, Jay, you have derailed us now 4 times.
No,
it's related.
This is actually kind of on topic because we're talking about the marketability of the personalities behind a channel.
Yeah. I understand. Okay. I get you. I'm just saying we can go back to the topic at hand now.
Okay.
Jesus.
But well, I mean, if we're complaining about the way that YouTube I think they're trying to deal with a logistical problem.
Yeah,
it's twofold. One, that they've got a ridiculous amount of content going through the mine cart sorter to find the gold. And the amount of money they're getting for the gold that they're getting has been reduced. So they have two options. They can either try to find more gold, which they don't want to turn off the spigot. But on the flip side, they have to make sure that advertisers don't run away. Because I've noticed that they didn't tell anyone you couldn't still make content. What they're saying is they're not going to do monetization. In other words, they're not going to run their high value ads on channels that aren't a certain amount of popularity. And I guarantee you what happens, that monetization review is going to be a lot more personal. Well, if they're going to do that, they have to minimize the number of, they have to filter the number of people that they're offered the partner program, because otherwise they're never going to be able to give them all an eyeball.
Yeah.
Okay, but remember I brought up that the video that I made for you that I threw in the DM, right?
Yes.
Or the group chat, right? That had an ad on it.
Right. But because ads seem to come in two flavors. They seem to be generic ads that run on anything, because they don't want the videos to have some chance of having some ad. But then there are ads where the advertiser is sensitive and wants to make sure that ad is that's on a reputable channel. And also remember, I used to be a YouTube in the partner program for monetization. I just turned it off because I got tired of dealing with it.
Okay, well I didn't know that. So
as a side note, when it comes to it, would a partnership program for 18+ channels be something that YouTubers might be interested in?
They've done that. That's what Machinima was, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, but nobody likes Machinima.
Yeah,
well, I'm just using it as an example, man.
I think it would be a good idea if YouTube had the equivalent of Adult Swim.
Yeah, like that kind of a concept. Maybe have like alcohol ads on it all the time or something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
some alcohol ads don't want to be on raunchy content either, so
that's fair.
But what you're talking about,
especially with Coors. Coors, oh my god, one raunchy content, he'll shut down fucking YouTube.
Well, Coors is an everyman Bible Belt beer.
Okay? Oh yeah, even though they're not made in the Bible Belt.
No, but most of their customers are basically red-blooded American average Joes.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, if you want to not avoid offending, if you offend SJWs, Pabst Blue Ribbon isn't going to want to have anything to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but what you're talking about, right, is literally saying, and because this is what it is, really, it's YouTube is just like HBO, right? They outsource to creators, and then they pimp it on their channel, right?
Yeah.
And this is the way that people should really think about it: is YouTube is offered a medium and a vehicle. That doesn't mean they have to be your full-time pimp, even though they're still pimping you regardless. It's just to the volume that is necessary.
I'm just gonna say I don't have nearly enough lipstick to suck enough dicks to make myself a popular channel.
Don't worry, I got the lipstick ready.
You could do the opposite.
What's that?
Just fucking shit on a bunch of people.
Just shit on. Well, that's why I said that drama channels are gonna incredibly benefit from this, because people love to watch that shit. It's like watching Jerry Springer, but in real time.
Right. Well, I mean, but what you're highlighting is people either love something that's really, really good or really, really bad. Something that has something that's just in the middle is like neutral, like I'm making cheese. Only the weirdos like me and maybe Red are going to watch I want to learn how to make cheese, you know?
He's not wrong.
I don't want to learn how to make cheese, but I get where you're coming from.
Yeah,
like, I know at least part of what that entails, and I don't have the space.
Well, part of it is...
my point is either you're completely a vulgar, SOB and get a lot of views, or you're a completely like upbeat, like, everything's okay and the world is full of rainbows. Those are the only two people with this system that's going to make popularity. And unfortunately, that's true in every medium.
Okay.
I love you. A top 10 channel.
Oh, God, please don't. No.
Yeah, I tried doing the top 5 thing for a while, and it was just...
Fuck you, Red's 5 was amazing.
What really got my channel off the ground?
Apparently, one of my shows is good.
Well, what really got my channel off the ground was when I decided to start a series about animation memes or whatever, and I had some pretty strong feelings about them. It came from a genuine place of like I felt strongly about this, and I made like 4 videos about it. The real sub boost came from a totally different video that wasn't an animation meme, I guess, but it really was just an original animation that I criticized and called out for being pretty reprehensible because it basically was supporting terrorism and Antifa and that shit. But basically just find interesting shit to talk about. People like weird stuff. For a while, my biggest upload was the weirdest subculture on YouTube, and that's been passed recently by the worst SJW webcomic of all time. And
wait.
God, yeah.
Was it
Robot Hugs?
Yeah, it was Robot Hugs.
It was Robot Hugs.
Robot Hugs?
Yeah.
Me and
I thought it would have been I can't remember the name of it now.
Assigned Mail?
No, hold on. No, it was hold on a second. I have it in one of my a video that talks about it.
I won't find that real quick, and then
my God,
we'll come back to you.
There's some pretty bad ones.
But
questionable content?
Natty. It was Natty.
Yeah, Natty. I've read that. I'm fairly certain Natty is a parody, though. Because
I keep hoping it is, because it has to be. You know what? Because the thing about Natty that's the worst thing, even if it's a parody, is the literal direct subversion of show don't tell, and when telling a story.
Yeah, because whenever the characters get their comeuppance
at the end, like it's preaching to children, and I'm hoping it's a Poe. It has to be.
I'm fairly certain it is, because it's like, come on. Also, I have to pick up a package at the front desk of my apartment. I'm pretty sure it's a
You
Batman.
go get your bad dragon. You go get it.
It's a Batman DVD. I wouldn't lie about that.
The Batman parody.
If you don't got, if you got to go, that's fine.
Yeah, it's
not a
fun.
big deal.
You know, it was fun doing this.
Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it.
Welcome. I gotta record a new video because the sub boost I got from that last video is starting to die down. So I gotta make sure that I keep it going.
Yeah.
And make sure that I don't lose subs and become a loser and die.
Yeah, like the rest.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
All right. Again, thanks for coming on.
Bye,
But
everyone.
kind of to go back to the monetization thing. What I'm saying is,
I'm leaving.
You
can head out. He's going to do it regardless.
Yeah, he is. You have a good day.
He will assail me regardless.
I'm the guy in the car.
Goodbye.
See ya.
I'm the guy in the car.
All
you know, unless people, because I have heard of this, right? Of several.
You have fun too.
He did that linger shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
like that motherfucking Jew, like the motherfucking guy who's like, "Do you see these maps? Look at these maps. See,
I'll see
see
doing
you
it
at the lamb feast."
Yeah, he does it intentionally.
I know, but
he's a comedy.
I know.
For the audience, I'm sorry.
I know, Ichabod. Hey, Ichabod, guess what? I know this. I know what you're trying to explain to me.
Oh God! God damn it.
I absolutely know it. But anyways, it's just kind of like the guy that on my channel all the time. He looks at maps, but he doesn't stop. He says like 4 hallelujahs and 5 amens.
All right,
the entire
piss real quick, so I will be back.
Okay.
But yeah, kind of what I was trying to say a second ago was that this is why I do know of
If you repeat
people.
yourself again, Jay, I'm gonna hurt you.
Well, I'm not repeating myself. I'm speaking a different thing. Like five YouTubers will get together and live in one house and then split the monies that they get in. And whenever one of them gets big, then they all push that individual, and they bounce each other. You know what I mean? So,
which YouTubers living in one house together?
Several of the gamers actually have a game house together.
Are you sure it's not just a recording house? Like some of them
No,
would just rent like a studio.
They're not together anymore, but the creatures, they used to do that. The creatures used to do that. Dude Perfect, they lived in the same house for 2 years before they all got really, really, really big and then moved on. I mean, it's a possibility to do that for some people, but it's just you get really sick and tired of living with 4 different people who you have to work with every day, and then it ends up turning bad for them.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm giving options for people who possibly, if they're smaller and they're single or whatever, to still make this relatively profitable. I'm of the view that YouTube died a while
lose
ago.
your day job. You know what I'm saying? Go through that.
Well, yeah, I'm of the view that YouTube died a while ago, and we're just seeing the death throes of it. But you know, it died before I ever made that video.
No. Like, even though they're losing money right now, they do this, like, if you look at their fucking profit margins, they always, like, hit a down spike, and they always launch directly back up again. Even with their down spike, they're still technically making money. They were just, like, with this right here, they're about to do a huge launch and have a shit ton more money. Like, this is not a death throw. This is normal company.
Well, I mean, it's hard to say because I mean, you know, up until the very end, a lot of people thought MySpace was a big thing. You know, I'm just saying.
Well, you remember the Iraqi general is saying, "Oh, there's no Americans in Baghdad," and he watched the tank.
But on the flip side, how many times have people proclaimed the death spiral of Twitter? Still there. Now, don't get me wrong, it's nowhere near as profitable as it used to be, but we shall see. I mean, at some point, it'll get replaced. I mean, That's one of the things I always love about this argument, which are more dangerous, corporations or governments. I'm like, no, governments are pretty much for fucking ever. You have to fight them taking over. Who even worries about Sears anymore? Used to be they were the biggest mercantile or company on in the country. Now, fuck it, it's a place to go to take it. You might go there to get your tires changed, maybe.
Well, but what you're also talking about is corporations are a government created entity by monopoly. But
well, that's me having this the water and bottle argument with Dean Esme, 10 years ago.
Who's having that feedback?
I don't know. It's probably Jay.
Yeah,
it's me drinking water. Sorry.
Quit it.
I can now. I'm not thirsty anymore.
Okay.
But,
okay. Saying.
But like when I was at Amazon, right? Because I no longer work in Amazon. Okay. Yeah. But when I was Amazon, they very much kind of pimped about how this, because Sears used to send a giant Sears catalog out and used to be able to shop for it. All Amazon did is do the Sears model. The problem is I do see, Amazon, because the way they're doing things and they micromanage, they're not going to grow. They're going to end up plateauing. They're going to be huge, but they're going to end up plateauing. And a lot of people are going to switch to a different service. Because if your employees aren't happy and your customers end up being happy, your business goes under.
Well, it seems like the customers are still happy. It's the YouTubers themselves that aren't happy. But even with those YouTubers that aren't happy, there's like a good margin that are. Because they're still making fucking money. So you're always like, I don't see this thing dying at all. Like, everybody's been saying the death of it for the past, 10 years. Like, oh, this year is going to be the end. Look at what they're doing. And it keeps going. It keeps building. It keeps getting more staff. It keeps on making more memory banks and shit. I don't think it's
point. We're not the customers. We're the product.
Yeah, we are not customers at all.
Well, but that's the thing, though. And that's also what I was trying to highlight is everybody has the potential of being a producer, and everybody has the potential of being a customer.
We are not customers, though. We are.
I typically use YouTube
we are nothing, honestly.
Well, I'm not making videos really. I'm purely a consumer in this kind of realm, right? Mm-hmm. But if I was making content, I would also be a producer, and somebody somewhere would watch my shit, right? In theory, right? Right, in theory, right? So, but again, goes back to the, you're not going to get the eye. It goes back to the idea of how bees market, right? The more vigorous that bee is indicating where the food source is, that's going to trigger more bees to go to that food source. Now, that food source can end up being poison.
This food source has been marked for generations, all right? It's been marked for 10 years. I don't think any bees are going to be flying away anytime soon.
Okay.
We'll see. I'm a terrible predictor, so I don't know.
I mean, if you haven't noticed, I'm slowly working on tanking my channel. At least some of the music I played today was copyrighted, so.
Even if you're people are saying that, oh, I'm done with this shit. There's always going to be someone to replace you.
Oh yeah, somebody's going to be
because you have now opened a slot. And they're going to replace you, and it's just going to continue going. They're going to be part of the memory bank. They're going to keep going. They're going to keep building, and it's going to go on forever. They're going to get more ads, and you're not going to be a part of it because a lot of people don't make the,
To be fair, I'll fucking die before I become part of it. And that's not, I'm a resistant person. I mean, I don't have all the time in the world. Eventually, I'm dead. So fucking.
But I think the only problem is that this entire thing is going to hit, honestly, is those people who quit their day jobs to become YouTubers. That's it. And you want to know what they can fucking do? You want to know, honestly, if you have a big ass fucking channel, just make a fucking Patreon and then say, hey, guys, if you want to, give me money over here. That's how fucking they mostly make their money anyways. They didn't make them off of ads. Look at fucking PewDiePie's Patreon. He doesn't need to work anymore.
To be fair, I have a theory. Mm-hmm. The death or leaving theory. When all of these currently big YouTubers disappear and all that everybody's left is with these fucking douchey Viners and people who don't actually produce any kind of quality content, ratings are going to dip. Finally. But that's 20 years from now. Shit's going to dip.
I wouldn't say it's 20 years, man. I wouldn't say it's 20 years. I think YouTube will become much more of an archivist service.
No, I'm more worried about.
Because MySpace is still live, by the way.
Yes,
and
I know. I still have a MySpace.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
Jay,
check it occasionally.
I want you to give a prediction. So in that many years, I could come back to you, Jay, and say, ha 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 ha, they're still going. I want your prediction right now, so I can laugh.
Wait. If we're gonna bet like that, we need to have some stakes. What are the stakes here?
I could go ha 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 ha.
Well, okay, fine.
Both sides full nudes.
Both sides full nudes. Okay.
My nudes are already out there, so
The loser has to do full body pictures of nudes.
I've already done that. So all right, I'm game.
Hey, wait, Moka. If you've already done that, where the hell is my copy?
They keep get taken off of like Twitter. People like flag them down and say like, "Oh, you're now can't type anything for 12 hours," because apparently people are offended by my gorgeous body.
DM people that shit. Jesus.
Yeah, no shit.
They just can't handle my luscious tatas.
Anyway, moving on from nudes.
I think YouTube is going to become like MySpace. It's still going to be alive, but it won't be the same.
Okay, well, it's never going to be the same. It's changing every 3 hours. Like legit. Actually, look up the update basis. It actually changes every 3 hours.
What I'm saying is, when the big YouTubers now either go do something else or die, YouTube's main people, your Felixes, your Markipliers,
right?
Your fucking what is that douche?
All your golden boys.
Me?
The golden boys, yeah. Golden boys of YouTube. Golden girls of YouTube. All of them. Once they all die or leave, and all you're left with is like the Viners, nobody's going to be coming here regularly. They're going to be like, you know what? I don't want to see 40-year-old Rice Gum who has never gotten past age 15 in his brain throw money at homeless people.
Well, I think here would be a good indication. When Philip Defranco leaves YouTube, then you know it's done.
Yeah.
Which Philip Defranco said he isn't, so.
Well, yeah, but he gets most of his revenue through merchandise sales and events.
Just so you know, accounted with his merchandise sales is actually the Patreon that he keeps to run his YouTube channel. So do factor that in when it comes to merchandise sales. He actually said that himself, that a good portion of the Patreon when he was becoming an independent channel, those merchandise sales actually do go within the fucking Patreon itself.
Speaking of,
because he sold himself as a piece of merchandise. I do believe that was what he said in a video.
No, I mean I'm fine with that, but the only reason why I picked on him is like, you know, when he finally becomes disgusted, because he still loves YouTube. When he finally becomes disgusted enough to walk away from YouTube, that should be your red flag to go. Yeah, YouTube's going to become
that
like
would be a red flag. If Billy left YouTube, it's like we're done.
Yeah,
I would look more for PewDiePie rather than Philly D, because I think someone would just take Philly D's place.
Well, but I think PewDiePie is getting in trouble because of other issues, so he might be forced out. Which is
a quick question. Spudwick, do you have merch for your channel?
I do not have merch.
Okay, so with the exception of Spudwick and Jay, I'm pretty sure everybody in here has merchandise. So if you people in the audience decide you actually give a rat's ass about any of our channels, feel free to check out their merchandise stores in their channel descriptions and whatnot.
Yeah, I do have merch. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you do.
By the way, when I get the money, I'd like to buy a Red Robot shirt, by the way. I'm not trying to pimp you. I'm just saying I think it'd be really funny to have that shirt.
I do need Icky, are we still going to VidCon?
We are contemplating it.
Okay.
But we gotta hammer all that down. But crashing the satellite tour would be great. We just need to find We need to find somebody who will drive us to VidCon.
I can drive.
Yeah, no, I mean me and Minty. Oh, what? You want to go to VidCon, Spudwick?
I can drive
I'll go
to where you
VidCon.
are and drive you to VidCon. That's doable.
Well,
I actually no longer going to VidCon. I decided to go see Logic instead. So I had to decide, and I was
fair.
like, eh.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I just sold my tickets for a shit ton of money because I had like really, really, really fucking good tickets.
Here's
You'll be
here's
missed.
another option, by the way, to make money on YouTube.
Yeah.
Say that
Something
again.
to think about. I've seen both Steven Crowder do it. I know Ben Shapiro does it, and so does Philip DeFranco. They have like a premium kind of aspect where they have like special content.
Quest is.
I'm just saying there's still ways to still bleed this beast of funds, but me as a guy who would be just starting out and to produce short films, I'm probably not going to pick it as a medium. That's just my view.
Shit. Actually, that actually legitimately reminds me because I completely fucking forgot. I closed down my Patreon. For those of you who want to be a member of Citrus Quest, you will have to go to the PayPal link instead of a Patreon, but I have also lowered it now to a single one-time donation of $5. And you can forever be a member of the Citrus Quest, unless you fuck up.
Oh,
Don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck up.
Wait.
like-
Come on, you're gonna make me, Moki, pay money? Let's see how it is.
You're already in Citrus Quest.
Shut up.
You're one of the draws
Shut up.
of Citrus Quest.
I know I am. Shut up. I give you money anyways because I love yous. I'll give you money on the side. Then we'll slip it under. I'm gonna, like a weed sale. What's gonna happen?
I'm not dancing for the money. I'm
You're gonna
not dancing
dance.
for it.
You're
Moka.
dancing.
I'm
I'm
not
gonna give it to you in pennies, bitch. You're gonna dance for me.
Did anybody also notice? Like I was watching. I'm not a super fan of Mundane Matt, but Mundane Matt was bringing up how this would also affect like the super chats and all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, no doubt.
Wait,
like
why
if
is
you're
Miss
not part of
Steam
the partner
blocked from
program.
Citrus Quest?
What? I have no fucking idea.
Okay, Miss
Somebody
Steam.
in there blocked her.
Miss Steam. I'll send you just get in chat with me sometime. I'll actually send you the entire list who's in Citrus Quest, and we can just go one by one to see who he is, and I'll block them, and then you can come in.
crap.
There you go.
Red, was it you?
Are you kidding? I only have Evil Gunny blocked. And I'll have Evil Gunny blocked because I was trying to make room. It was one of his old accounts. I was trying to make room for somebody else in the B list. Oh, that's the only person that I have blocked that I know of is a defunct account of Evil Gunnies. How do you find out who you have blocked, by the way?
You should have a thing.
There's a list somewhere.
Is it probably in settings and privacy?
Yeah, probably something like that. Anyway,
blocked account.
If we're down to
Oh wow, actually it's more than I thought.
Like checking our Twitter information, I think it might be time to close down the show.
Well, but before we close down, I want to say this. We were talking earlier about trying to get, a shout out from bigger YouTubers and all that stuff. And, it's a good thought in theory. And I would say, yes, do it. Where I've shouted out multiple channels. I'm not a big YouTuber, though, so it doesn't affect me. Bigger YouTubers are scared of people like us. They're scared because
we're unknowns.
We could be the next big thing. I'm going to put that in quotations because God knows I'm not the next big thing anywhere. But if somebody likes us more than they like them and they go see us like, oh, well, I'm just going to use Philly D. I love Philly D. But if they go and say, fuck Philly D, Ichabod has way better videos, I'm going to go watch his videos and just never go back there. Now, to be fair, that's not going to happen. But
yeah, nobody likes my videos more than Philly D's.
It's just something that everyone that wants, a handout for, shout me out this, shout me out that. That's great. They can shout you out, but they don't want to because they're scared.
Well,
And
what
there's also that factor of we might be that unknown.
Yeah.
Somebody that they've never seen the content for. If you're going to ask somebody to like, hey, can you shout out my channel, maybe host one of my videos? You send them your channel link. You don't send them one video that you want them to mirror. You fucking send them your channel link and say, pick one. Because then they're watching some of your content and they know what you're about. And if you're going to do that, have a catalog of videos already.
Yeah, but that has to do with how you vouch for somebody, right? It's like this is how the mob works. You're not getting in unless we vouch for you. And we got to see you work before we can vouch for you.
And when have you ever saw the fucking YouTube as anything but the mob?
No,
at family, motherfucker. You gotta understand that.
At one time, I thought YouTube was kind of a different platform. And at one time it was, because a lot more people were doing certain things, but it got infested with certain types of people, like it always does. And that's kind of, I mean, I hate to say this, but YouTube's downfall was written in its very, very origins. It's kind of like California. I mean, why San Francisco is the way it is because how it started.
I'm actually making the list for Miss Steam right now, so she can actually check to see who's fucking blocked her, so I can block them.
Okay, we are moving on to final thoughts. Let's start with Jay because I know his is going to be the longest. What are your final thoughts on the YouTube partner program thing?
Do what you have to do to survive.
Way to make me a liar there, Jay. Red, what's up? What do you think?
Here's the thing. I would say to anyone who's dealing with YouTube's algorithms, YouTube's buttfuckery, you have to remember this is a desperate group of people who do not understand the monster that they are tied to. They have leapt upon the tiger that they thought, okay, we're Google. We understand how the internet works. They were wrong.
You don't
really
understand.
Wrong.
Yeah, no
idea what they're dealing with. They really don't understand why some videos are more popular than others. They don't understand people that don't think like them. Look at how they react to anything that's counter to their little enclave in this weird little place in Palo Alto. They don't understand what they're dealing with. Basically, if you're a YouTuber and you're new and you're starting out, I have two pieces of advice for you. Try everything that you enjoy. Now, I say this very carefully. If you find something that you do something that resonates with people, remember, you're going to be doing it for the rest of your YouTube career, so you better well fucking like it. The other thing is to remember, do not make this your day job. I don't care who the fuck you are. Do not make this your livelihood. You had damn well better have a backup plan, because this is a situation where those motherfuckers are riding the tiger. You're grabbing carefully onto their coattails. If they ever lose control of that tiger, you're fucked. I love you YouTubers. I enjoy everything you guys do, but do not sell your soul to do something you don't enjoy. And for God's sakes, don't do it and think that you're going to live like this forever. It will not happen. Someday, even people like PewDiePie will no longer be doing this shit because they just can't. Okay? If you're lucky, you can build up a bankroll, but you're not going to be PewDiePie. It's not going to happen. Okay? You might be Mundane Matt at some point. That would be fantastic. But the dumbest move he ever made was getting a kid and a girlfriend and not having another backup plan. You look at the desperation in that man's face every time he uploads something.
So, but fear is a good motivator, though, man.
Yeah,
this is true. Not going hungry is a great motivator.
Well, Spud, you got anything?
I mean, Red absolutely summed it all up. Just don't make it your number one. Like, make sure you have something else, because it's not going to be something that you do forever. It's do it for fun. If you make money off of it, great, but do not make it your job.
Moka?
I hope I get to do my laughing session. And that's about it, honestly. Just they summed it up pretty well. Just, if anything, if you truly are just fearing all this bullshit, just honestly make yourself a Patreon and shut up. I'm tired of hearing people complain, honestly. Because people are like, I just don't get the manners. I don't get my manners. Yeah, just make a fucking Patreon like everybody else and just shut up.
All right. Well, folks, everybody watching, everybody listening, hang on, I gotta switch.
Miss Steam, check your Twitter also, because I have sent you the list. You just go through, tell me who it is, I'll block them. So you can come back in.
All right. So, as we all know, the outro is something everybody talks over, but there will be music playing in a second for our outro. But, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, today we have been joined by Minty Fox, Spudwick, the Mistaken Lunatics, also known as Moka Rosary, Jay, the Magic Robot, Red Robot, and of course, Digby, the Goat. If you enjoy this channel, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't expect me to ever monetize this channel. I do not have the fucks to give to do so. I have been your host, Ichabod Orange. I am the coon over the moon, the man with a plan, and I am gonna sit here and not do fuck all for the rest of my day. I've got raccoon shit to do. Thank you guys for watching, and have a glorious fucking day.
Bye.
Bye.
That's funny.
I just love the I got raccoon shit to do. That's one of my favorite bits.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Who put on this gay shit?
Hey, it'll be running till the end of the show. I gotta give them something to tune in for.
No, it's gay shit. Stop this madness. Stop the madness.
Accept it and enjoy it.
I shall not accept this homosexuality.
Like I said, it's for the audience, not for me.
I want metal. I need metal up in this bitch.
I don't know any metal I can play.
I could have gave you some.
Okay, well, still fucking put some in the chat and I'll switch the music.
No, because fuck you.
All right, then.
Actually, no, I will. As long as you play the fucking
chat. Move to the chat.
Woo!
Move to the chat.
Shake those titties.
I can't see nothing. I'm on the phone, so.
No titties for you then.